The ETIAS, well, it may not be enough to gain entry into Europe next year. There's going to be additional pieces of paper that you require. Well, the EU has confirmed this now because there was a lot of reporting in papers like the Daily Mail and the Sun and what have you, which were not entirely accurate. They keep referring to the ETIAS as a visa. It's not. It's an entry-exit system to record, well, your biometrics. What is on file is they'll have it, and it will last a number of years. So it makes life a lot easier, see, regarding travelling across the border. Now, my family are currently above my head, who come to visit us here in France, and I don't know what they're doing up there, but they're packing at the moment, so I'm about to take them to the airport. But next year, it's going to be a little bit more complicated for them since, Brexit, obviously. But obviously the introduction of the ETIAS. Now, obviously, if we had freedom of movement, we wouldn't need it at all. No, because countries within the EU do not have to apply for an ETIAS. No. We do know how to scupper ourselves, don't we? You could say. Well, unfortunately, you do. You're going to need that form. So you apply for it online, and here's the website. I'll show you. So, yeah. Welcome to the official ETIAS website in the EU. And it says here, okay. You don't need it yet, you see. No, not until next year. Now, this can has been kicked down the road several times already. So, will it be kicked down the road yet again? Maybe. We'll see, won't we? They might say, we're not ready. You know, that happens. So, at the moment, the ETIAS currently not in operation and no applications are collected at this point. But the Schengen Visa Info website says here that the ETIAS won't be enough to enter Europe from next year. And that's what the EU is saying. So I thought I'd just share this with you because you might want to think ahead. You know, be aware of it at least. So starting from mid-2024, once the European Travel Information and Authorisation System, the ETIAS, is launched, travellers from more than 60 countries who can travel to the Schengen area without the need to obtain a visa. See, that's the thing, you see. They've been referring these other sources such as the Sun and what have they been referring to the ETIAS system as a visa, like the ETIAS visa. Well, it's not a visa, no. Well, you will need this thing if you want to gain entry. It's not expensive, it's only €7, and it lasts 3 years, providing the passport doesn't run out before. So if your passport runs out in 2 years, well then your ETIAS will only last 2 years. And don't forget the 10-year rule on your passport. Your passport must be, well, at least, within its 10-year from the issue date. And then you've got to allow the fact that you must have at least 3 months on, past the date of your return. Otherwise, you're not getting in. No. So, anyway, back in we go. So, it says here, when it's launched, more than 60 countries that can travel to the Schengen area without the need to obtain a visa will be required to apply for the document. It's not difficult. No. Hopefully it won't be anyway. Apparently it's going to be a fairly quick online process, although in some cases it might require an interview if you've been a naughty boy or girl in the past. Now, however, the European Union highlights that successful application alone will not guarantee entry into the EU countries. No. Now, requiring ETIAS Schengen Visa Info reports. Now, once the ETIAS becomes fully operational, travellers will have to meet visa-free conditions in order to be allowed to cross the external borders of the EU. Now, apart from requiring travellers to provide proof of their valid travel documents and the ETIAS, in other words, they want to know when you're going to be returning and can you prove that you've got a return ticket, basically. The border guard may also ask you to provide information on the following. You've got to be able to prove this as well, such as your duration of your stay in Europe, the reason for your visit, and an explanation of the financial means supporting the trip. So maybe you've got a credit card with a balance on it or something like that. Now, your first trip over, you're going to find that you're going to need to get your fingerprints scanned and stuff like that. So it's going to cause a lot of delays right at the beginning. Once this comes first, when it comes in line. Later on, it'll be easier at the airports, what have you, but it's not going to be easier at the ports, such as the Port of Dover, who does not have the room to facilitate this system. No, because people are going to have to get out their cars. I can't see how it's going to work. Anyway, in addition to the above mentioned, it has been stressed that the border authorities will also verify whether the travel documents are valid for at least another 3 months after the intended date of departure from the EU country requiring the ETIAS. It's not just your passport, it's all your documents must remain valid. That they will also verify the travel document was issued not more than 10 years ago. Furthermore, the European Union notes that the authorities will have the right to conduct a thorough check to make sure that the documents are not forged. I've already heard and seen online, especially on Facebook and places like that, oh, we'll just do this, we'll just do that. No, just don't risk it. You don't want to ruin your holiday and just waste all your money just spent on accommodation and your flights because you've been an idiot, do you? Just make sure everything is tickety-boo. That's what you got to do. Well, they may also verify if the certain nationals of third countries pose a threat to public security before permitting them to enter the bloc. Now, I mentioned about an interview. There's a possibility it costs you about €100. You might need to go to your the embassy for the said country you're visiting to actually have an interview if you've been that naughty boy or girl in the past. But it's down to the individual countries. According to this, they could still say no. You're not coming in. The computer says no, or something like that. Well, the ETIAS is launched. After it's launched, details of the travellers will be registered in the entry-exit system, and the latter will replace the manual stamping of passports. So it will make it easier at the airport once they've got your biometrics. But this is going to take years to catch up, you see. And if they're only going to, say, 3 years or whatever it might be for the biometrics, the whole process will keep restarting. It is going to cause delays at the ports and also at the airports. In some ways, it'll be easier for some people. In other ways, it's going to cause more aggravation. And you've got some people who are not going to want their fingerprints taken. No, especially if they're criminals. Anyway, those travellers who do not meet the entry conditions will be refused entry, unless an exception, provided by law, applies. So I don't know, maybe there's an exception if you're disabled or something like. I don't know the details of that yet. Well, that's been highlighted by the European Union. Yes, the European Union emphasises. So they're going to make a point of that. Once travellers enter one of the 30 countries that require ETIAS, they will be allowed, that's the whole Schengen area, by the way, they will be allowed to travel freely in any of the countries as there's no border checks. The travellers will still, however, need to make sure that they do not exceed the permitted period of stay, which is 90 in every 180-day period. Yes, you can apply for an extension. But good luck with that one. That had to be extreme circumstances such as, well, maybe somebody died. Maybe it's taken longer to sort out their estate or something like that. Or maybe you entered the EU not in good time. You have to get yourself a short-term visa, basically. The following incorrect media reporting and interpretations, like I was saying, the Sun and the Daily Mail, or shall I call it the Daily Fail, might be. Well, Schengen Visa Info previously compared the ETIAS with a visa. Oh, so they got it wrong. And it's not a visa. That's highlighting that the ETIAS is not a visa and it is an application process and is simple and quick, which you do online. The application process for an ETIAS includes the completion of an online application form and the payment of the fee. And the fee is only €7. And the document will remain valid for 3 years until the applicant's passport expires. You see, more hoops to jump through just because you want to go on holiday. Now, some will say, my God, I thought they wanted our money. That's what they said with Brexit. Oh, yeah. They need us more than we need them. Trade deficits and all that. Well, it hasn't quite panned out that way, has it? No. And we discovered ourselves, just made everything harder. It's more difficult to even go on flipping holiday now. Okay, I'm alright, Jack, because I live here in France, yeah. I'm not likely to holiday in the UK. No, I don't want to swim in those seas because they're full of poop. No, don't do that. Anyway, you tell me. Please leave it in the comments down below. But Sounds like a flipping nightmare to me. Yeah. Don't please boot the old like button. And maybe subscribe and the little bell icon, because then you get a little warm fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video, and I hope you'll be excited about that. And if you want to support us, you can go on Patreon or buy us a coffee, and the links are down below in the description. There's also like a super thanks thing there as well, which is just below the video. Yeah, couldn't do this without it, you know. Keep you all informed in that. I do try. Failing miserably, but I do try. Anyway, ta-ta, and you know what? Have a lovely day.